Hi Thomas, how are you?
Good.
So with a show like this, it's very fun because it's kind of a who's who of like people we all know and love for one reason or another. And so for you, what was it about Twisted Metal that drew you to the project in the first place and made you want to get involved?
Um, I read the first three scripts, had a great talk with Michael Jonathan Smith, who was the showrunner, but sort of along with Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese and Will Arnett and his partner, and then a lot of other creative voices. But Michael was the guy who sort of pulled it into. I was told the first two episodes that I think he might have even written on spec. But he was the guy that captured the voice of the game and the characters, but more importantly, creating these storylines that are connected to the game in very meaningful ways for fans of the game and the gaming community, but also expanded it to to being more pop entertainment. And I read the first three episodes, talked to Michael, and just playing that law enforcement, that law enforcement kingpin, was very appealing to me, and that apocalyptic wasteland that was America, and that he has this very specific mission of trying to pull it back to where the rule of law is the rule of society.
Yeah, and I do love that this show has such kind of like a dark humor to it. I was telling everyone I was like my favorite the needle drop of Champagne Supernova in that first episode is one of the funniest needle drops I think I've ever heard. And I do love just like that humor, and you're no stranger to humor in your work. And so for you, what was the excitement of like getting to really dig deep into like the gallows humor of this series while like still like being that like strong law enforcement type that like the show needs in order to kind of move
Right.
move on through the story?
Um, it, you know, it's I don't know. Can you say that? Rephrase. Can you say that again?
Yeah, sure. I said for you, what was the fun of kind of getting to to go into that gallows humor while still maintaining that kind of like machismo that you have to be that
Okay.
law
I see what
enforcement.
you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're definitely, that's it. I mean, that really was it. Is that, those really like extreme, almost there's a polarity to the character because he seems so implacable and stone. He seems so stony in the pursuit of justice and punishment, but at the same time, that was really just something that I'm assuming that they asked me to do the project because they knew I was going to be able to find. I mean, look, a lot of it was already scripted, but a
Mhm.
lot of it wasn't. And Michael gave me the freedom to really just go in all these different directions. You know, I mean, like one of the stupidest things that as saying Baba Booey, from the Howard Stern show, which is like we thought was what we really thought was hilarious about it is that like that the much younger version of Stone was a Howard Stern fan,
Oh
you
my God.
know, and he dropped Baba Booey at the most ridiculous times. It's just stuff like that Michael, who's much younger than I am, but we just kind of like there was that shared humor of absurd humor. Some of that I don't remember all the stuff that I said, and but the cool thing was the way that Stone was set up, even in the very first scene where he's almost he's with Quiet and Loud, he's almost, and I told Michael, I said, the thing to me that was the most disturbing about him is that he could be at the most unexpected moments, almost avuncular. Like he was just like, he was concerned about their well-being, you know, you know, but
Yeah.
then, but then, you know, depending on what they had done, it sort of would lead into, well, you know, now you're kind of faced with a difficult choice here, you know, and you know, but that was the thing and that was easy to dig the humor out of that, you know.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
He
talking. Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
No. I mean, somebody asked me before, they're like, do you think he was manipulative? And I don't ever think he was manipulative. What I think is that he is serving the greater pursuit of justice, but it's okay to sometimes have a sense of humor, you know, about it. So
Yeah. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
you're
I really
welcome.
appreciate it. I have to say,
Of
I'm a
course.
huge fan of your work. Spider-Man means the world
Oh,
to me. So like
thank you.
this, I'm a little nerd right now, but thank you so much. And I can't wait
You're
for
very
people to get
welcome.
to see the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.